want to fend for myself, and I want to build people up for them to fend for. Michele, welcome to the show, my dear.
Hi, thank you.
How do you like that? I just turn it on right.
I love it. I love it. Let's go.
Your story, I mean, you're here to free yourself also from your childhood. And, I'll let you go into your story. But all I will tell the audience is if your parents have a 60-year-old male best friend who wants to constantly babysit your 5-year-old daughter,
it's a red flag.
Yeah, something's up, because that's not normal for a 60-year-old dude to want to just constantly hang out with a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with you.
Yep, exactly.
And set the tone for the next couple decades, and you finally have addressed it and are freeing yourself, and this is the next step to free yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So take us into it. Where'd you grow up at?
So I grew up in North Jersey. In the middle of the woods, similar to where you grew up, where there's more deer and bears than there are people.
Right.
So that was the case with me, and grew up being raised by two narcissistic parents.
Oh, lucky you.
It's so lucky. Every single one, every therapist and everything is like, I don't know how you survived. And I'm like, neither do I.
What's it like growing up with two narcissistic parents?
So they're basically constantly yelling at each other, and they have blinders on for anything for just each other, so that they can yell at each other. They don't really see anything else going on.
I'm surprised they would attract each other, because usually a narcissist wants to domineer and control and toy with the other one.
Yep.
So they look for someone lesser.
Yeah, they decided to go all out and go for a narcissistic partner.
Just sort of like Russia and the U.S. in the Cold War.
Yeah,
we each have nuclear bombs, and we're not afraid to use them.
Yep, exactly.
Oh boy! And does that mean they're concentrated on each other, and the children are just like little ants that they
non-existent?
Non-existent,
yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Any love expressed to you?
No, never.
No. Any abuse by a narcissistic parent? I mean, a physical, it wasn't sexual. Was it not necessarily physical either?
No.
Emotionally, maybe?
Obviously. But no physical, no sexual, just emotional.
Were they drinkers or drug users?
No, both of them were sober.
Wow.
Yep.
Sober and nuts.
Mm-hmm. Sober and nuts. I think that's probably why they were nuts.
Maybe they should have drank.
Probably.
Or smoked some weed or something.
A little bit.
Oh, man. But that's not even where your real, that contributed to your trauma, but your real trauma both worked, right?
Yeah.
And they needed a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you take it from there. Who decided to babysit for you?
So it was my dad's best friend named Ernie, and he was the worst human being alive because,
Ernie, I'm sorry if there's any Ernies out there, but Ernie just sounds like trouble. Just the name sounds a little weird.
Especially his last name was Harding.
That's why people, the trolls on the internet would peg. Oh, funny, he got abused by Peg. Peg pegged him.
Yep, of course.
So, Ernie Harding?
Harding, yeah.
Yeah. It's got a little connotation to it.
Yeah. The irony is definitely there.
And how did Ernie come into your life?
So Ernie was there from day one. My mom was an immigrant. She didn't know any Russian or any English. She only knew Russian when she first moved here. My dad didn't even fully know Russian. He knew some. So it was a very weird dichotomy in the first place. But Ernie ended up being her best friend because he was the one person that was nice to her and actually communicated with her, even though not through words. So he was always around.
He started off as your dad's best friend, though. And then your mother gravitated to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then he was always in the picture.
Right. And when you, at 5, he's how old?
Probably late 60s.
Late 60s.
Yeah, mid to late 60s.
And your narcissistic parents need a babysitter.
They need a babysitter. And why would they pay for a babysitter when they have a free one?
Great.
Right?
Ernie didn't even charge for this service.
Not at all. But he got paid in other ways.
Yeah. How quickly, once Ernie starts babysitting you, do things go south? Like, can you recall even?
Well, so he would babysit every here and then, like when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old, but nothing then. And then when it was 5, I guess that's his age that he likes. That's when it started ramping up, and it lasted until I was around 11ish.
Should take me into Ernie's grooming.
Yeah, so it was weird. I guess well, it's not weird. It's actually, for somebody that knows psychology, it's really smart. So he's a genius for thinking of this. He saw me being neglected by my 2 parents, not getting any attention, any affection. So any affection towards the kid, they're gonna like, right?
Predators are like sharks, you know. So Ernie's your father's best friend. Your mother gravitates to him. He sees the dynamic of the family where your parents just go at each other and they're both narcissists, and he sees that you're neglected. I asked you as we started this, did you ever hear I love you? And you're like, no. So Ernie sees that. So Ernie's going to just pour on the affection and the love and the attention to you.
Exactly.
And you being a little kid, like a sponge for this, you just soaked it right up.
And that's the thing that drives me insane is like people are like, how could you possibly like that attention and affection? It's like, I was 5. I didn't know anything. Like, it was something that I didn't get to experience with my parents. So it was something that I liked at the time until it got weird.
Yeah, you were starved for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in steps Ernie, and you're like, yeah.
Exactly.
And how would he show you affection? What would he say? What would he do?
He would just tell me that he loves me. And at first it was like a cutesy, like how you tell your friend, like, oh, I love you. And then it turned to, I've never been in love with somebody as much as I love you. Which is...
To a 5-year-old.
To a 5-year-old, yeah.
Like he's telling you he's gaga for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see, like, you know, you're in a grocery store or something, you see a little cute little 5-year-old, like, oh, it's a cute kid. And then that's it. Like, but not Ernie.
Yeah. I have a picture of me when I was 5 for you, just so you can see, because, like, I mean, when people say 5 years old, like, damn, that's young. But then when you see what a 5-year-old looks like, you're like, how could anyone be attracted to this?
Right. People see the adult version of us, and then they're like, oh, I know what I would have done, you know, back then. You know, like people always say, in my shoes, they knew they would go running to their parents instantly.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm like, you know, like the pictures really tell a different story.
Exactly.
You know, and your little 5-year-old brain doesn't think like an adult brain.
No, not at all. Your frontal lobe is like 20 years away from being fully formed.
Yeah.
So you don't know any better.
So Ernie's just telling you, he's like, loves you, and you're like, yeah, I love you too, Ernie. And then it takes a turn. Yeah. All right, so take us into that.
So I don't necessarily remember how it started, and I told you this, where I guess it's still like my brain is purposely blocking that, or maybe it's just because I was really young. I don't really actually remember. But yeah, it turned to getting very sexual. And the thing with me is that I was never touched. So I've had people discount like my trauma because of that. Or like, oh, you haven't been touched. I'm like, yeah, no, but there's still something about like a 70-year-old man telling a 5-year-old to spread their legs and then like masturbating in front of you.
So how would he get you naked? How, like, what was the, you know, what was the process to like, let's get our clothes off?
He would always like take off his clothes and normalize it. And so he would be like, oh, it's really hot. Like, are you hot? And I'd be like, yeah, I guess. And so he would be like, oh, okay, let's undress you.
And you're 5.
And I'm 5.
And Ernie loves you. And you can't think he has like ulterior motives.
Yeah, no.
Like, all right, Ernie says we should undress. I guess we should undress because it's hot.
Yeah.
And you undress. And Ernie wouldn't touch you.
No.
Knowing maybe in his mind, like, I'm not doing anything wrong as long as I don't touch her.
Well, that's exactly what happened, because he would say specifically, he's like, as long as I don't touch, I don't have to go to jail.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yeah, if I touch you, then I'm going to jail. So he knew what he was doing.
So he would get you both naked, and then what? Have you pose for him and do like, you know, you mentioned spreading your legs.
Mm-hmm.
So he would, you know, just say, spread your legs, bend over, do this, do that.
Yeah.
He would be the orchestrator.
Yep, exactly.
And then pleasure himself.
Yep. Which was confusing to like, even like up until I was like 9 or 10, I was like, the hell is this?
What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Ernie doing to himself?
Right?
Right.
Now maybe 6-year-olds know that because of TikTok, but like back then in the 90s, or the early 2000s.
Yeah. And how often is this going on? Like early on?
At first, it was like maybe once every few months, and then it turned to like weekly. Thankfully, never, not that I can remember it ever being daily, but yeah.
But several times a week?
Mm-hmm.
Is he babysitting you like how many times a week?
Ooh, I mean 5 times a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he would still be around on the weekends because he was still best friends with my parents.
Right.
So
it's almost every day he's at your house.
pretty much.
How is he like trying to keep you silent?
He just kept telling me like, oh, you really care about me. You love me, right? And I would be like, yes, because I thought I did. He was basically positioned as like my dad's best friend. He was my uncle. So he would always just be like, well, if you love me, you can't tell anyone this. This is our little secret.
Our little secret.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Another check in the pedophile
Yeah.
checklist.
Yeah. And this was always like the same MO, almost, you know, like, let's get our clothes off and then just, you know, have you orchestrating, doing whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Poses and, you know, you're a compliant 5-6-year-old and then it becomes normal.
Uh-huh.
You know,
so I don't think twice of it.
This is what we do when Ernie's over. We play and we do this.
And he would always he would make me which is so stupid saying this, but he would make me iced tea knowing that I like iced tea afterwards, to reward me. And then also to reward the silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after he finishes himself, is it immediately then the clothes go back on, or are we keeping it like this for hours and hours and hours?
No,
as soon as he's
and then not talking about it at all.
Not talking about what happened. It would just be like, okay, we're done playing. Let's put our clothes on, and I'll make you some iced tea.
And then he would go chain smoke outside. So,
oh man,
yeah,
hey.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Really, man?
I thankfully can look back at it and laugh nowadays because it's just so wild to me that it's just how do people like this exist?
Yeah.
But they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's an older dude, so could you really be his first one? Could he?
No.
Yeah.
That's
what's
exactly
Ernie
it.
done his whole life, you know?
Yeah, and he had, I think it was at least 2 daughters. So I'm I wouldn't be surprised if they were affected by him. If he did something like that, or I doubt I was the first.
Right.
Just based on how him even saying oh, if I touch you, I go to jail. He probably said that to somebody else as well.
Yeah. Where's he coming up with that?
Yeah.
Or had he been to jail?
I don't think he actually did, which is crazy. He should have been.
Right.
Just not even for that, just for a bunch of other reasons. And
did you ever think, and I don't mean to sound like the internet trolls, but did you ever think of telling your parents?
No.
Did you ever question it?
I mean, I started questioning it when I was around 9 or 10, which at that point, I was 9 or 10, but mentally I was 45 because I was forced to grow up so quickly. And I remember there was, for Christmas, I wrote a letter to Santa and wrote Santa, I'm so sorry for everything that I've done. So I knew at that point. But even still, he would tell me over and over and over again, this isn't okay. You shouldn't say anything.
To your parents?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Or to anyone, really.
And you're self-blaming, though, in your letter to Santa. It's not Santa, please keep Ernie away from me. I'm sorry for what I've done.
Yeah, because at the time, it was happening so frequently that I thought, like, okay, does this happen to like everyone? Or maybe not everyone, but like, the vast majority of the population.
So like from 5, it started off, once every month or two,
Mhm.
and then like it ramped up to like multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Probably 3 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
as often as he's watching you.
Yep.
And would he like, soon as he would get you, as soon as your parents would be gone, would it be like immediately, let's get the clothes off? Or would he, does a pedophile have a warm up period?
It was like more of a warm up, because if my brother was home, he knew for a fact like not to do it, thankfully. And he was grossed out by my brother. My brother's gay, and he was very homophobic. So thankfully, like nothing ever happened with my brother that I know of, at least. But yeah, he would wait a little bit. Like he would make it so that it was still fine, like that we were actually playing and like playing games and stuff, and then it would go into that.
And then once it was alone time, right?
Yeah.
And then, and so this goes on from 5 till
11, 12-ish. Yeah.
So a good 6+ years of this, like multiple times a week for that length.
Mm-hmm.
Did your parent or you see, like, you can't even say, did your parents see a change in you, because they're so hyper focused on themselves and they're arguing.
Yeah. And because it was so long, especially like, because a 5-year-old is like, they're just stepping into life and they're just really getting their personality. So like, they didn't see my personality change at all, because he kind of formed it from the start.
And then what happens at like 11 or 12 to make it stop?
So I guess at that point, it was just like I was taking so much of the blame, and I started realizing that, like, no, this isn't okay. Like, most people don't go through this, like I had thought, for like 4 or 5 years. And so we were in his car in Florida, and thankfully he moved to Florida. So at that point, there was a little bit of distance. So I had at least more time away from him to be like, oh my God, no, this isn't normal. And so
Did your parents send you to Florida to see him, or?
Oh yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were asleep at the wheel.
Absolutely.
My God.
And like, so he got a pickup truck in Florida that was a 94, and he named it Michele because I was born in 94 and he would like to ride it. How did my parents not see anything weird with that? Right?
Oh, man. And they're just like, let's ship our little preteen daughter down to a 70-year-old guy in Florida.
Yep. Exactly.
Nothing. What could possibly go wrong?
And nothing at all.
So you're down in Florida in Ernie's truck,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened?
So he just was doing his like perverted talking and everything, and telling me how much he loved me and everything. And at that point, I just snapped. And I was like, you need to stop. This is driving me insane. Like, I know this isn't right anymore. And I thought it was really weird that he stopped entirely. He never talked about it again. He never did anything again. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, 11-year-old me was such a little badass. No, my therapist told me, she's like, you most likely outgrew him. So I got too old for him, which is gross. And the fact that now I was talking back to him, I think he was afraid that I could talk to my parents and tell.
Right. And then that was it.
That was it.
Ernie stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And would they still send you down to him, like at 13, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that had to be weird.
So it was and it wasn't. Because I was still like I knew that it was like gross and wrong, but it hadn't hit me like the extent of how gross and wrong it was. But yeah, still very weird.
But on that plane ride down there, like 13-year-old you, 14-year-old you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, I gotta go. Now, like, you've gotten out of that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old range,
Yep.
and you're thinking for yourself now, and like, I gotta go spend a week or two with this weirdo.
Yeah, and it would be so like conflicting for me, because like we had a condo down there. So he would technically be like coming to the condo and like watching over, staying there. And then I remember there were days that he would just be mad at me and he would go back home, which was an hour away. And at 13, I was like, oh my God, I'm here alone in a condo with people I don't know around me and like no way to get around. So I would have to call my mom and be like, hey, this is the situation.
And would they call Ernie, like, go back, our daughter's not safe there?
Yeah. So that's also funny because like my mom would tear into him, be like, what makes you think you could leave a 13-year-old alone overnight? Blah, blah, blah. When in reality,
You're a little late, Ma.
a little bit, a few years, I would say.
You missed the train.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. And Ernie's probably pissed that everything's come to a screeching halt, and he's just like, this is a waste.
Yeah. And he would get really, really annoyed with me after that, like all the time, which.
After you spoke up to him?
Yeah.
He was like the jilted lover.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because he said he loved you. And in his twisted mind, he might have.
Yeah. He probably did.
Yeah.
But yeah, not in the way that anyone ever should.
Right. People question if there's karma in the world.
Oh.
And you're here to say there is karma.
Oh, yes. Yes, there is.
And how did karma pay Ernie back?
So I guess let me start this off with like when it first happened, what I'm about to tell you. I was upset and I still didn't hate him at that point. So it was still kind of traumatic for me, but not so much. So the karma that happened was that he was driving in Florida on his motorcycle. And, Florida man exists. Like, Florida has weird laws in general. You don't have to drive with motorcycle helmet then. At least back in, like, 2009, whatever it was. And he got hit by an 18-wheeler and run over. Every single bone in his body was broken. His lung was punctured by one of his broken ribs. His skull was fractured. The brain was swelling, like everything. He had to be medically comed.
Right.
Because that's a lot of pain.
And that was it for Ernie.
And that was it for Ernie.
And your mother even rushed down there to be by his side. Right?
Yeah.
And at the time, you're conflicted, so you're not like, serves you right, or yeah.
Yeah. And
you're like, because you still didn't know what to feel for this guy.
And that should have been a red flag in the first place, because I'm the first person to cry, like, at the drop of a fork. Disney movies, like, waterworks. And this was the one time that, like, didn't cry, just kind of was like, okay, that happened.
And then now looking back on it, like, you're like...
Subconsciously, my body was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, now he's completely gone. You don't ever have to worry about talking to him or living with this guilt, except I did.
Right.
So...
You lived with the guilt of how you felt about his death?
Not even that. I mean, partially,
or the guilt of what?
Just everything.
Being complicit in your mind of what went on?
Yeah.
We all do that.
Yeah.
We blame ourselves. Like, I should have screamed. I should have said no. I should have gouged his eyes out. I should have ran to my parents. Like, hindsight, we all think we should have done something.
But I think also people don't realize that it doesn't take more than one time for it to be traumatic. So I would have still had to go through the one time of just dealing with the weirdness, dealing with the sexual activity, and then having to carry that anyway. So I feel like one time versus 100 is not the same, but you still carry a lot of weight with the one time.
Even though he's not touching you per se, sex is going on, and you're both naked and you're seeing him climax, and like, what's your little 5-6-year-old mind thinking that is,
yeah,
the whole,
yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. I mean, the abuse of any child, no matter what way it is, it's just, and my thing is, I'm always just like, how do these people have peace in their life? Like, how does Ernie go to bed that night after the first time? Like, and just be like, not like, what the hell did I just do? Or not be like, oh my God, the cops are going to come beat my door down any second.
Mhm.
Or she's going to tell her parents and they're calling the police on me. Like, how do you live in that state?
I feel like, funny enough, going with the narcissism again, I feel like a lot of people that are pedophiles and stuff like that are narcissistic.
Oh,
So they think
absolutely.
they're untouchable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I feel like a person like you and me would not be able to go to sleep.
I had a doctor on here, Dr. Christine, and she said every pedophile is a narcissist.
Mhm.
Not every narcissist is a pedophile,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
every pedophile is a narcissist. And I guess that's how
Yeah.
they. I mean, they're not wired like us.
No.
So that's how they can sleep like a baby and wake up and see the sunrise and have their coffee or tea and
Yup.
just be like, life is good.
Mhm. Nothing's wrong.
No, it's unbelievable. So what's the after effects of little Michele? She goes forward in life. Take me through your teen years, your 20s.
So when I was a teenager, the first like few years after his death, I don't want to say fine, but it hadn't ramped up yet. And then it was my senior year of high school was like when I started using drugs, when I had to like drink in every single class from my purse secretly to get by, because otherwise it was like always on my mind and weighing on me.
Drink in every single class.
Mm-hmm.
In your purse, you brought alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Glad my high school teachers never found out about that.
Wow.
But yeah,
This was your coping mechanism
at the time.
Like the thoughts are. What are you experiencing? Like, what's in your mind?
It was just like a lot of flashbacks. And then when I started drinking and using Xanax regularly, it stopped. So why would I stop drinking if it's the thing that's stopping my mind from, reliving the past?
That's how it gets all of us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, the problem with drugs and alcohol is that they actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
They work until they don't work.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So you're drinking your senior year in class
Mm-hmm.
and taking Xanax. Where were you getting Xanax?
I had a friend who had an older brother who had a prescription, and he just never took it because why would you take it when you can sell it for a lot of money?
Right. And what made you take Xanax? Like, where did that, who said, oh, somebody said Xanax are great? They mellow
yeah.
you right out?
Yeah, I was at a party and somebody was like, oh, like, you know what Xanax is, right? And I was like, not really, no. And they were like, oh, yeah, this will make you feel like on top of the world. Like you're going to be super numb, but you're going to also be like tingly and floaty inside. And if you hear that from anyone, you're going to be like, hell yeah, I want that.
Right. Yeah. And it did that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Pretty well.
And took Ernie and took Ernie out of your mind and the shame out of your mind and you feeling complicit with what happened and yeah, I mean it's hell like early on when the abuse is still fresh and raw and those thoughts are just like on spin cycle. It's just like makes you insane. Yeah. So you go through your senior year drinking, using Xanax, and never got caught.
Never got caught. My family had no idea. Even like my brother, before I went to when I got psych warded, I told him, and this was like 3-4 years after, and he was like, I had no idea you were so good at hiding it.
All right, so you graduate and you're going in your 20s now.
Yep.
And you just mentioned psych warded. How did that come about?
So I started dating a slew of horrible men, and one of them was the one that led me to the psych ward. I'm not saying it's his fault necessarily, but he was definitely a big component of it. And ended up having a nervous breakdown and trying to kill myself.
What would he do to you?
He was bipolar and didn't take medication. He didn't go to therapy. So I would just go days of him missing and none of us could find him. And I would call his friends and be like, hey, do you have any idea where he is? And then when he would find out that I was asking, he would freak out at me over that. And so he really took me away from all my family and friends. He isolated me. So when shit hit the fan,
That's all right.
Okay. It hit it really hard, and I felt like I couldn't exist anymore.
When he would disappear, where would he go?
No idea. Still do not know to this day. A lot of times it was, I know there were a few times where he would just drive for days on end, like without sleeping, which blows my mind, to like different states. And then he would come back.
And your behavior got to the point that you needed a psych ward. Like, what were you like ready to self-harm, or what led up to getting checked into a psych ward?
I had been self-harming since I was like 14, 15. But that was different.
What kind of self-harm?
Like cutting.
Cutting.
Yeah. But then at that point, it was like I was cutting, but I also didn't have anyone to turn to at all to help. And
did your parents ever see the marks on you?
No.
No.
Yep.
Right. Any parents out there, if your child's cutting, that's like, at the top of the check mark for abuse.
Yeah, if they're
just so you know.
If they're wearing a sweater in like August,
right,
there's probably something going on.
Yeah. So you were cutting, drinking, Xanax. So you're cutting and taking drugs and drinking, so like, but nobody's seeing these signs. And so it's all right there.
So for me, the psych ward incident made sense because I went through all of it. For everyone else, they were floored. They had no idea.
Did you check yourself in, or somebody check you in?
My friend's parents checked me in.
Your friend's parents? What were they? They were worried about you, like, killing yourself? Yeah.
Yeah.
You were that, like, just off that they like, we're going to check you in.
Yeah.
They didn't take you to your parents to have them check you in?
No, because my mom was in Russia all the time. My dad was working, so they knew that he was never around. And thankfully, like, they took me under their wing because their daughter was, like, really psychologically messed up too. So they thankfully, like, saw the signs in her and me and kept, like, a watchful eye.
And how did the psych ward work for you?
I mean, I've never been to prison, but I'm assuming it felt like a prison to me. Those 3-4 days I was in there, it was hell. And it's weird. I don't want to poo-poo on St. Clair's, but like their psych ward is, they basically just put you in a room and give you medication and then just don't do anything with you after. But after that, I was put into intensive outpatient, which was 5 to 6 days a week and from like 8 in the morning until 5 or 6 at night.
How long were you in St. Clair's?
Only like 4 days.
4 days. And then they discharge you to intensive outpatient. And does it help?
It did and it didn't. Like, I got medicated, so I was starting to feel more normalized. And I met with other people who had been through similar situations, but with their parents or with their siblings. So having those people around, I started realizing, like, oh my God, yeah, this is like really bad. And just what it does to like the human psyche.
Is that where you opened up for the first time?
Yeah.
Inside the psych ward or in the intensive outpatient?
So I tried to inside of the psych ward, but they were so like, whatever, like take your meds and sit down, that really didn't come to anything.
So they don't have a therapist like on call for you?
No.
No. Huh.
I mean, maybe they do now, but 10 years ago they didn't.
Right. And you mentioned your brother. This is when you told your brother. How did that conversation come about?
Yeah, so I knew I was going to be psych warded. Like, my friend's parents were basically like, we're taking you on Monday and you have no say in it. And I was like, how am I supposed to explain to my brother, who's my best friend, why he hasn't heard from me, like where I'm just suddenly gone for 4 days, like no phone calls, no text messages. So I had to tell him.
And what'd you say to him?
Yeah, I was like, so I'm going to the hospital tomorrow. And he was like, what for? And I was like, nervous breakdown, stuff like that. The years of drugs and the years of alcohol that I was consuming. And at that point, he was like, what are you talking about? And we sat in the kitchen that day for like 3 hours and just talked about everything except for...
Oh, you didn't tell him about Ernie?
Mm-mm.
Still didn't?
No.
And why didn't you?
I don't know. I think it's because my brother always hinted at like Ernie being a scumbag, and calling him gross and being like, he would talk about like gangbangs in front of me, like when he was like 11. So that's weird. So I don't know. It was just still like too close for comfort.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did you finally open up to your brother?
Like 7 years later.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Kept that a secret that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're doing this intensive outpatient, and are you sharing in? You said other people talked about their abuse. Are you sharing about Ernie then?
Yeah.
You started
at that point.
up.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, it was a good month where I didn't say anything at all. Like, did not talk. They would try to get me to talk about anything, and I would just sit there mute. But there was this one woman, Julie, who was molested by her dad for like 10 years, and I became close to her, and she was like, yeah, it's better to talk about it than to keep it inside.
And she got you to break your shell?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And how long did that last for? This therapy or this outpatient?
4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
And then you're all cured now.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't need therapy. And then just went back to my ways. But thankfully, like at that point, I wasn't drinking at all. I wasn't doing drugs. But that's just one of the issues that needed to be resolved.
So you stopped like drinking and doing drugs when you got checked in there and did your thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why do you think you never went back to it?
Well, with the Xanax, the withdrawals were hell.
Yeah.
They were so painful, and it was like days on end of like feverish and like your body hurting and like your body feeling like it's trying to shut down. So that pain is just something that I never want to go through with ever again. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like just stop Xanax abruptly. Like it can lead to death. You know, like I was taking a ton of Xanax when I got arrested, and like I was hallucinating my ass off in the suicide cell I was in. Like I'm just like seeing stuff swirling around, and I'm swatting at it.
Yeah,
I'm hearing conversations that weren't going on, and just you know, miserable. Yeah, like my body, just the pain.
And they took you cold turkey off of alcohol too?
They put me back on Xanax in jail. Like the therapist is like, you know, I don't know, you know, 5 to 7 days I saw a therapist, and she's, you know, I told her like, you know, like I'm like freaking out in my suicide cell, like, and she's like, oh, you can't stop Xanax abruptly like that if you were taking a lot, and so she's like, I'll put you back on it. So like I'm getting, you know, a couple bars a day.
Oh my God.
I was the most popular guy. Every guy wanted me to cheek my meds and give them to, like, I'll give you 10 honey buns.
Ooh, tempting. Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, nah, I think I'd rather have my Xanax.
Yeah,
you know, and, everybody just was begging me, like, oh my God, I can't believe they're giving you Xanax. You gotta cheek one for me. And I'm like, nah, I'd rather have it, man.
Yeah.
And then like they eventually brought in a different psych, and he was like dead against. He's like, we're weaning you off. He's like, you know, you've been on it for a year in jail. Like, we got to get you off of that.
Well, at least he weaned you off.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the right thing to do, medically speaking.
But, you know, when I was facing that life in prison sentence, like that first year of having Xanax was just like somewhat made it manageable. And then, you know, like I had to go through 2 more years with that over my head with no Xanax.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
So, you know, so you're not doing Xanax or alcohol anymore, but you're not also right.
No.
So what's the rest of your 20s like?
So I went from one horrible relationship to the next, thinking it was normal. And then
needed the validation of men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I was so used to it from Ernie for so many years, and then it stopped, that I would go to like any guy for validation. And, you know, the scummiest people are the ones that are like, oh yeah, I see that. Like, I'm going to poke at that. So then thankfully COVID happened, and I was in a relationship with this guy for 2 years. He was a narcissist, so close to home. And the few months away from him was enough for me to be like, okay, this isn't what I want. Started dating one of my friends who, lovely guy. I really have nothing bad to say about him. But I told him at first, I was like, I can't have kids because of like X, Y, and Z. Like I went through this. I really don't want to even think about like potentially a daughter or a son having to deal with that because the world's scary. And he was okay with that for the first like year or two. And then suddenly he was like, no, we need to get you pregnant by 30. And at that point, it was like, I kept thinking, which, you think this is probably a little concerning, like where I was like, oh my God, I have 2 more years until I'm 30. I'm going to kill myself when I'm pregnant so I don't have a child. That's normal.
That was your thought process?
Yeah. Totally normal.
Wow.
There was one time that we were down the shore together and I ended up having a super vivid nightmare, which I hadn't had in years, about everything that happened. And I woke up, panic attack, shaking, crying. He woke up and was like, what's wrong? Told him. And instead of like comforting me, he was like, oh no, we have to break up. But then we ended up being together for another year. Yeah. And so I started going downhill. And thankfully, he's like, you need to figure out, like, you're not wanting kids. You have to go to therapy. And that's when I started therapy. And yeah.
At what age was that?
27.
The psych ward was around 20?
Yeah.
Okay. So 7 years later.
Yeah.
And so this is really like your first therapist? Mm-hmm. I mean, you did that intensive thing, but that was like a group setting?
Yeah. It was always at least 20 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And did you get a good therapist?
Oh my God, I got so lucky.
Oh, yeah?
At the time, I couldn't get a job because I had just graduated with a master's during COVID. So like already they're like, oh, I'm not going to hire her because she expects more money. And so I had to go on unemployment, and she was the only therapist that was available. And it was like a blessing in disguise. And she was the best. And then she retired on me, but she gave me a great other therapist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you with that therapist now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yep. Been with her for like 2 years now.
And you were able to like peel the onion and get to the core and see the damage Ernie did.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is, like, during the intake, she was like going through everything. And then at the very end, she's like, is there anything else you should tell me? And I was like, oh, yeah, I was like molested from the ages of 5 to 11. And she's like, you thought that you could just hide this? And I was like, I mean, I have so far.
Have you told your family yet at this point? Anything?
No.
Nobody?
No one. And I told her, I was like, I'm not telling my family. Like, there's no way in hell. And she kept pushing and pushing and was like, fine, I'll like open the door slightly towards my brother.
And that's when you told him?
Mm-hmm.
And what did he say? Like,
he was just shocked.
Just said, I knew something was wrong with that guy.
Mm-hmm. We've never had to like, I think it's really hard for him because was like my caretaker. Once I turned 11, he was basically my parent. So I think for him, it's a lot of guilt. So he still doesn't want to talk about it fully, which I respect. And he knows that it's on the table for when he's ready.
Never to your parents?
Never.
Still?
Yep. My dad died not knowing, and I plan on doing the same thing with my mom.
You're not going to tell her?
No.
And why?
I know her, and she will, well, as a narcissist, she will make herself the victim, which will just really, I feel like that'll do a lot of damage to me. And also, I know her, and I know she still cares, and she's like the, like mama bear. And so I feel like it's going to be bad for her if she finds out, and most likely will commit suicide.
Would commit suicide over this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. And you don't want that guilt on you.
No, I'm good. I have enough guilt.
And did therapy, since therapy, like you've come to terms with everything and you're in a much better spot now?
Completely different person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like super, not necessarily negative. Like I wasn't mean to anyone, but I couldn't see like any positivity in the world. And yeah, like years of therapy, I just turned into a completely different person for the better.
Have you gotten back self-love?
Yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
fully. Yeah, within the last like year or two, I would say.
Yeah.
Which didn't know.
Are you staying away from relationships right now, or are you in a relationship?
No, yeah, I'm staying away.
Are you?
Yeah. Not because like, I know it's not that I'm not ready, because I know I am. It's just more of a like, I rather be with myself and focus on myself for a few years.
Right.
Before, putting my eggs in somebody else's basket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be the best sister, to be the best girlfriend, to be the best coworker, you got to be the healthiest version of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not at that point yet, then those relationships are going to falter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I always tell people, like, when you're going to heal, you got to be selfish. You know, you got to put yourself first finally. And,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then you'll respect yourself and find a partner who's worthy of you.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, going after all the wrong dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, like, I still don't want kids. And it's shifted from, like, trauma to me being like, no, I want to be able to go to, like, I don't know, Bora Bora and sit on a beach and not have to worry. So for me, like, I definitely am more, like, I have more leniency. Like, I can go several years not having to worry about, like, the biological alarm clock of, like, I need to have a kid by 35.
Right. So where you're at with life now and looking back at everything, I told you, like, I give you the last word to sum things up, like, so is there life lessons? Is there regrets? Is there positive daily habits, routines you do? So, what's your grand finale, Michele?
Well, one, I highly recommend the book, A Courage to Heal.
A Courage to Heal.
Yeah.
And is that heal from trauma?
Yes. I'm not necessarily sure if it's more women-based, but it is for, like, child molestation survivors. So it thankfully captures, like, the psychology of a child and teaches you, like, everything that you wouldn't think necessarily is part of that trauma, but it is. That, and then the other thing is that I just see the silver lining in everything, because I know just how bad it gets, that there's no point in me sitting and be like, oh my God, I hate life. It's like, no, life is pretty good. And you, as crappy as all of it was, like, all of that, I learned a lot through it, and I've become a better person because of it.
Make you more compassionate, empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
If someone, you had contemplated taking your own life.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is in that thought process right now, what would you say to them?
It's not worth it. Everyone says it's a selfish act. And, like, when you're in it, you don't really necessarily care, but it really does affect everyone around you more than you can believe. It's not just they're going to cry for a week. It's like, no, if it's your parent's going to feel like a failure for the rest of their life. So that's how I see it, where I'm like, think of everyone else and how everyone else will hurt from it. And also, it's going to pass.
Right. A lot of people say, whatever you're contemplating today, just put it off till tomorrow. Wake up on a fresh day and think about, your issues then. Just don't do anything rash. I've had so many suicide, a good 10 suicides in my life of people really close. And, yeah. I mean, you get that negative voice in you. Did you have that negative voice?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for most of my life. Where I just, I didn't know that self-love was a thing. I didn't know that it's normal to not have a super low self-esteem, because I was so used to just having everything, putting the blame of every single thing on myself. I tell everyone, I'm like, go to therapy, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, no. Oh, I'm fine. I don't have anything to talk about. I was like, that's what you think. That's what you think.
Right. So like, what's a typical day now? Like, you know, do you eat healthy? Do you exercise? Is there any faith? Is there meditation? Is there mindfulness practices? What do you do on a daily basis?
So I got more spiritual in the last 2 years, not necessarily religious,
Right.
but just more in touch with the universe, with life. So that definitely has helped. I do eat healthier. Don't really drink that much. I do occasionally, but very, very rarely. And yeah, I love working more than anything, which is so weird to say. So I just kind of put all of my my mental ability into that.
Into your career?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably work out more, but you know, baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't love yourself, like the apartment's not clean, you don't eat good, because you just don't like. You know, I'm not worthy of a healthy meal. And your mindset's not on cleaning, you know, the apartment or making your bed or doing the dishes, or it's just like everything falters when you don't have self-love or self-respect, you know? And that's what you got to build back up. Yeah. And so you're at that point now.
Yeah.
So bravo.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I mean, trauma and abuse comes in all different sizes, but it affects us all the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, you check off a lot of the boxes of, you know, like,
Yeah.
trauma is trauma, you know, and it's going to manifest its ugly head in us the same way. Yeah.
Exactly.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everybody, there's Michele, and it's been a long road from little 5-year-old Michele to get where she's at now, but healing and growth is possible. Never give up. Peace.